Hi everybody, this is Lee. We're going to discuss the support and resistance in the SPY ETF that tracks the S&P 500 for the month of September. The charts we're going to show you come from the Trade Navigator software that Gettess is nice enough to allow me to display to you. And the first thing we're going to look at here is a weekly chart. And the reason we're looking at a weekly chart is because we had an inside week a couple weeks ago, and last week broke out above that weekly chart. It broke out above the last 3 weeks actually, and closed above the upper moving average. These moving averages, by the way, this is a 3-period moving average of the highs. This is a 3-period moving average of the lows. It's just displaced forward in time 1 bar. That is, we take these 3 lows, add them together, divide by 3, and we plot it here over on the next bar. Same thing for the highs. These 3 highs plotted over 1. So on this weekly chart, this actually looks very positive. Took out the highs of the last 3 weeks, closed up there, looks like they're going to test the highs. And if they're going to be that strong, it's quite possible that that upper moving average will act as support, that they will hold there and continue their move up. That's what the weekly chart looks like. Now, if that's not going to happen, they're probably going to run into trouble on the higher time period, which is our focus here, the monthly. And last month, they actually broke down, took out a monthly low, and then turned around and closed back rather strongly again. But what have we got here? We are bumping right up against the weekly upper band, or the upper moving average. In fact, that moving average calculates precisely to 453.66, and the high for the month so far is 453.67. That's maybe not a good sign. If they can get going, if they can turn around and get rallying, I don't believe this will even hold them. I think they can go all the way to test the all-time highs. But at this point, they appear to be holding that resistance. That being the case, we have to be concerned about 2 things. We have to look at the previous low here. Last month's low was 433. That would be the first area that might hold as support, or, well, they could hold above that, but that's the first calculated one. And the next level is the lower band, which is roughly 429. It's actually just below 429. So those are the areas of support, and let's make a little five-point band right around that area. That looks like where they might go to if this resistance is holding as it appears to now. So we'd like to see that break and see them move higher. But again, if a lower time period, in this case the weekly, if a move there is going to stall out, it tends to do it at higher time period resistance, which is so far where we are for the month. So certainly something we need to be concerned with. Also, if you haven't heard, then you're not watching the news, because the financial news is just inundating you with this information. We are in the month of September. September is historically the poorest average performance in stocks. In fact, since 1945, the average gain for the month of September is minus 0.7%. That's right. The average gain for September is a loss. They tend to go down in September. And in calculating that since 1945, that means we're leaving out 1929, which is one of the worst months in history of the stock market, in September of that year. So, that doesn't mean this September will go down. It doesn't mean that at all, in fact. But if you're looking for reasons to be either bullish or bearish, that's not a real good reason to be wanting to buy now. So I don't know if they'll go up or down, but that's what to look for. The resistance is holding on the monthly, and as long as it does that, well, duh, they're not going up. They're going to have to break that resistance and then go challenge this previous high, which is very close to 460. So let's see if they can do that. But right now, they appear to be holding resistance, and that means we'd be targeting like 433 or 429 before we can find really, really good support. And let me repeat, they could make a low this month someplace in the middle here. They don't have to go down to those areas, but there's no real good support to buy unless they do. So that's what we've got for you guys. I hope you're able to have a profitable month trading. And thanks for checking in with us. And maybe we'll be back next month with some more looking at what we can expect. Thanks again, guys.